boutique. I showed you how to do this technique in the previous video, so if you haven't watched that video, you're gonna wanna watch it because you're gonna wanna know how to do these petals, where to place everything, and how to do the leaves. Now what I focused on this video is that we're going to add more petals to the center, and I'm gonna show you how to make this center to give it a whole new look. So I hope you stay tuned and enjoy this video. Okay, so the first step is we're going to need to make some more petals. So I'm going to leave you the link for the other video to show you exactly how I do this petal, and it's a little bit slower, but I think a lot of you have probably already watched it, okay? So we're just going to make another about 7 petals. I believe we might need 8. And then we are going to put them together in the center of our wreath. So I just wanted to kind of take this wreath that I did in a previous video and show you how you could expand on the design. And I showed you back then these really cool cutters. Oops, I just made a little bit of a mess. Usually I hold it this way. And these are in my Amazon shop as well. There are 2 different kinds. And I do believe these are like 20 bucks. And if this gets dull, you just replace it because it has more blades in the handle. But you need to be very careful. It's very sharp, okay? So I'm gonna make a few more petals and we're gonna put them together. All right, so you've already watched me make this wreath in the previous video. I will link it down below in the description box if you haven't, but you will want to watch it to learn how to make this. This is made on a 12-inch frame, and for this project with the extra petals, you will need 2 rolls of the 10-inch poly burlap. And if you used a 10-inch frame, you probably would still need 2 rolls. So it's not really gonna make a big difference. So I'm gonna take my zip tie, and here is our plastic canvas. Again, I show you all of these steps in the previous video, and I'm just gonna put it in, and I'm gonna see here how far that is in. From the point to the end of one petal to this is about 1 inch. So, yep, I think that's about right. I think that I might just go in a little bit more on the next zip tie. But what I want to do is I just want to get it just right, just the right distance from the top petal to the next petal. And we're going to go all the way around. Find my handy dandy wire cutters here. And then you're just going to take another wire or a zip tie, not a wire, a zip tie. And I'm going to go up just a little bit. I really had fun making this wreath. I really like this petal, and I think that you could do a lot with it. I think this would be really pretty in a rainbow design. I think it would be pretty in a variegated fall design, maybe if you went darker and lighter, that sort of thing. But I really think you could have a good time with this. So as you can see, we're just going to keep going all the way around until we have filled in the center section here. And then we'll just put in our middle, and I will show you how to make the middle after this. Okay, so here's the first step that we're going to do in making our center. You're just going to take some felt, and if you only have the sheets of felt, you'll just need to cut several pieces out of one piece. But I generally buy felt by the yard because, as you know, I cover the back of my wreaths with my felt. So what I want to do is I'm going to just take my acrylic ruler here. Some of you might use this with quilting, but I use it with wreathing. And I am going to cut, I want to cut about a 30-inch strip by 1.5 inches. It doesn't have to be precise, okay? You don't have to be like, okay, I got to do it just right. No. Crafting doesn't have to be perfect. Your wreaths do not have to be perfect. It's just giving you kind of an idea of what I think will work. So I'm just going to take my rotary cutter. As you can see, it's very well loved. And I'm just going to cut down. Let's see, I think I need to go just a little bit more to get that 30 inches. And again, I know I say it all the time, any of the tools that I use, you can find in my Amazon shop. And then we're going to cut it right here. Okay, so now that we've got that strip, that's all I'm going to use for this particular wreath. We are just going to end up separating them and then putting a little bit of glue on one end, not both ends, just one end, okay? All right, so I hope this is a little bit better view for you. I just want to kind of get you closer. So we have 2 strips basically here, and we are just going to put a little bit of glue on just one edge, okay? And then you're just gonna lay your felt right on top of it. Now, honestly, you could skip this step, but I just find that when we roll it together and make the center, it just makes it go by a little bit faster. So I just like to do it this way. And honestly, this would be pretty if you use 2 different colors as well. I think that would be really pretty. Okay. So while that is drying, I'm going to show you the scissors I'm going to use. And you could use pinking shears, any type of scissors, or even a rotary cutter that has like a design on it. This has, I don't know, can you see that? This has a scalloped edge. And so when I cut, it's going to have a little bit of a different look to it. So now that the edges are all glued, so we have 2 pieces there, I'm going to take my scallop scissors that I got here, and I'm going to just cut all the way down. Let's see. All right, so you're going to have to come in about 1/4 of an inch, because if you do it too close to the edge, it's not going to cut, just as you saw me do. But again, what did I say? It's not about being perfect. All right. Oops. I got too close to the edge there. All right. There we go. All right. So as you can see, we have this little edge at the top, okay? So now what are we going to do? Well, I want to give it a little bit more texture. And at this point, you could just roll it up. And if you wanted to keep it that way, you know, you could just leave it that. But I'm going to take the same scissors, and I'm going to just very carefully, I'm going to cut one in here so that the whole edge is the right way. But I am just going to cut every about 1/4 of an inch down about 1/2 of an inch. You don't need to cut down very much. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing this all the way down. And you're going to be really careful with your fingers, okay? So that's going to be the look. Can you see that? When we put it together, I think you're going to see more of the texture in this. So I will finish this part up and come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so as you can see, I have my whole strip already cut out. So what's the next step? Well, we're going to lay our strip this way, and I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to be really careful, okay? And I'm just going to start rolling towards the center of this felt. And you're just going to roll it and keep adding glue until you get to the end. And it doesn't take very long, so I might as well just do it in front of you. Okay. So now I'm going to just go through here, and I'm just going to lay it out. And you're just going to kind of play with it. And I think you've probably seen felt flowers being made. And this is kind of the same, basically the same method. And that is the center. Okay, so as I keep playing with the center, I kind of feel like it's kind of off on this side, and I think because it kind of stops. So what I think I want to do is I want to just take my scissors here, and I want to just kind of cut back some of these to kind of make it feel a little bit more, just feel like it's more balanced a little bit. So, and you can do that too. But I do like how they just kind of come out on their own. And it really does remind me of a flower center. So how are we going to take this and put this in on our wreath? So you're going to take some of that plastic grid. You know how I always tell you, have this plastic grid around. And I'm just going to take a yellow marker here, and I'm just going to go around the base of my felt. And because it's yellow, it's all right if it gets on it. Now, you're not going to be able to see this, but I will because I'm here. So I'm just going to cut this, and it's really actually a quite small center here. And then we're going to take some of that felt that we cut earlier, and then we're going to just make some strips here because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, so hold those. All right, so we're going to turn this over, and we're going to put some glue around it, but I'm going to take my plastic grid and I'm going to take a piece of wire here. I don't know, can you see that? I believe it's 22 gauge. And I'm just going to go through so that this is the side that will go down into our wreath. So now we're just going to figure out, okay, where is it going to, okay, so it's probably going to come out a little bit more, but we're going to trim those edges. So I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm just going to put a lot of glue on this. All right. I'm going to be careful I don't want the glue coming over the sides. I'm going to just put now the glue is coming up, so this is what the scraps are for. All right. I'm going to go all the way around that, and then we'll have our center, and we'll let this dry. So once this dries, we can just trim it. You take a pair of scissors and you're just going to trim across that. And then you'll let it dry. This is all dried, and I just want to make sure that I show you how to trim it up, okay? So we're just going to trim it up, and it just goes flying everywhere. The little pieces of that plastic canvas, all right? But that's how I'm going to get rid of it, okay? And that will give you, and you can leave it up like that, or you can just like spread it out. It's really kind of up to you. I do think it would be pretty if somebody tried doing 2 different colors. You could even put 3 different strips of felt together and do 3 colors. I think that would be really pretty too. Okay, I just think that all these petals in the middle look so pretty, and I wanted to show you how to take the same wreath and do it a different way. So I'm going to take our center we just made, and I think it's really important when you have all of that poly burlap and there's like no space in there, it's really important to have a good sturdy wire that will go through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of push it down because it does take a little bit of work. I'm going to push it down or find a spot where it'll go. I think I found it. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this up and pull it down. All right. And then I'm just going to attach it in the back. Let me just switch this over. And you're just going to wrap it around and twist it, and just so that you just want it to just be on there really good. And then I will just take it and clip it a little bit and then run those wires back in. I will just take another piece of felt. I have one right here. So I will take this and I will zip tie it to the wire wreath frame itself, and then that way the back of it is nice and covered. But there you go. I think that's really cute, and I think that's just a new center option for you, and I just really, really love how it turned out. So, number 1, thank you for watching my video. Number 2, if you haven't checked me out on Instagram, check me out there, and check me out on Facebook. All my links are in the description box below. If you like to craft, join my group, Wreath Creators and More. Sorry, I got that wrong. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted to whenever I have a video. So I hope you're not disappointed. This was not a long video, but I just wanted to kind of give you another option. And tell me in the comments below what this flower reminds you of. So give me a name for it, guys, and help me out. We'll see you next time in Julie's Wreath Boutique.